In self-defense, we do three things. We identify what's going on, we respond to whatever's going on, and we escape. Even in law enforcement, you're going to have to get away and escape. So everyone needs self-defense. Law enforcement tactics are slightly different, with the exception of you identify, you respond, you may need to escape, but essentially you're going to try and control. Sometimes you try and control, and then you escape, and then you try to come back to control. Because it's not a perfect world when you're out on the street. So everything that I'm going to be doing is based on just basic street self-defense tactics and using those, and then showing you the application of law enforcement tactics. But what I do and how I teach is a building block. I teach very basic, simple, gross motor skills, and they work for whether you're an individual civilian trying to protect yourself and get away, or if you're a law enforcement officer and you're trying to control a suspect or just get away. So what I want to do is we're going to start out talking about the difference in what we do as martial artists. Typically what we end up doing is we train and we do our activities at a certain heart rate level. Everyone that I see here is a seasoned martial artist. We've all been there, we've all been there in the dojo. We all talk about self-defense and we talk about all these different things. And we all know that in the dojo, you're in a controlled environment. Nobody in that dojo is really trying to kill you. Nobody in that dojo is a true, honest, serious threat. But when you're out on the street, that's not what happens. Okay? You're dealing with an unknown. You're dealing with a potentially fatally violent situation. Okay? So what happens to you physically is your heart rate goes up. Okay? When we train in the dojo, even when we're in there and we're working out and working really hard, we can all get our heart rate up around 135 and we kind of maintain right in that area. And we learn to be calm, we learn to control our breathing and do what we need to do. Out on the street, when somebody confronts you or you're in a real life situation, your heart rate will soar upwards around 175 beats per minute. When that happens, you get tunnel vision. You only see the one person standing right in front of you. You only see the weapon as being pointed at you. Okay? You lose auditory response, even if we watch even MMA, which is a very tournament type thing. A fighter gets overwhelmed, his corner can yell whatever they want to yell, he will not hear it. He doesn't hear anything. If you've been in an actual confrontation, everything just goes to that one person. And you lose everything around you. You don't see, you have no peripheral vision, you don't have any of these things. Your heart rate's up so high that your body goes into a fight or flight syndrome. And when that happens, your blood then pulls to your center core. And as your blood is leaving your limbs and going to the center core to keep your organs going, your hands start shaking. Okay? And law enforcement officers find that when they do their training, part of the training they have to do is they'll go run 200 yards, full out sprint. Come in, start hitting the heavy bags, start kicking, start doing all this and pretending that they're in a solid 2-minute fight. And then they pick up a practice weapon, try to load it, and try to point it and keep the laser beam on a very specific pointed target and pull the trigger. And what you immediately find out is you can't even pick up the clip, your hands are shaking, you can't get it in, so you lose your fine motor skills. Okay? And once you lose your fine motor skills, all those really cool, neat things that we all like to do in martial arts when we stay and we play and we're going, oh look, and you can do this and you can do that, they're out the window. And what you end up with is you only rise to your lowest level of training in the real world when you're actually attacked. The footwork, though, is basic and simple. If you notice, I'm not in a forward-leaning stance. I'm not in anything fancy. Okay? We've all been walking and running since we were babies. All you gotta do is be able to walk and run. If you can walk and run, you can defend yourself. Okay? When a person's moving in, and you can come in with a shot from this side, if you will. How would I show you? When I move to here, and you're still pressing in. Now, when I go to move him to the ground, see this foot? It's just going to move back over here. And his energy is coming where? Straight at me, right? His energy is coming this way. I'm not going to really try to even circle it around. I'm going to let it come through. I'm going to step here. Okay? But I'm not going to allow him to walk because I'm going to double the speed that he's going to be able to keep up. And I'm going to drive down and drive up. Okay? So you can get a little fancy if you want. This way is a position where I can sit you to the ground. Okay? So I'm standing here, and I happen to be faced in front of him, and he attacks. And as he attacks, I go here, roll his head down, and I sit him right here on the ground in front of him. That's called setting the table. Okay? Because I could beat him all day long once he's in that position, because I'm right behind him and he's sitting on his body. Okay? And the only thing I did different in the technique is, rather than dragging him out and putting him on the ground in a handcuffing position, I put him in a position of control in front of me where as soon as I go to this and I'm separating this arm from his neck, I'm just going to take my hand, wrap it to the neck, and everybody has these two little bumps right here. It's God's handle to throw you to the ground. That's what it is, trust me. Because as soon as someone gets a hold of it and they drive down on that, you're going to the ground, aren't you? And I lift up on this arm, he will sit, whether he wants to or not.
Okay, that's what I've been wrong. How did it help me?
You're not wedged, yeah, you're not doing like a normal wedge. This way you're just pressing, you're creating a form. And he grabs me in this really tight hard hold. He's pulling me in. Just suck your elbows in and you're in control, right? When he does this, I don't want to hit him. I'm going to bring my hand straight up the middle, come here. Now I'm going to connect my elbow to my hip. He's back here. Here. Okay? Now, if y'all want to try it, you can go here and try it. If you want to do it with each other, that's fine, but be careful because y'all are on a mat and you'll drive their knee around pretty hard when you do it. And then maybe flip to the side. So I don't want anyone getting hurt. But basically, you're using, use the strengths that you have that are in your whole body. Your core strengths. Pulling your arms in, pulling your arms down and in. Okay? So, as soon as someone gets a hold of you and they pull you up to them, bring your arms straight up over the center of their body and just go down and drive down. Don't drive your elbow down and kneel. Take your elbow and put it on your hip. Are you drawing them both up? No, just go right down the middle. And now, when you do it, look, avoid doing this. Avoid trying to get real martial and going like this and all that stuff, okay? Keep it simple. Bring your hand up, go straight down your body, in between the hands. Now take this and stick it on your hip, right here. So you stay upright. You shouldn't bend at all. Just put it on your hips. So you do. Okay? If I grab a hold of him, do it on this side so they can see. If I grab him like this, he brings it up over, go straight to your head. You see my head go down? Look where his hand is. He's got the head. You can redirect the head, push the head back up. But he can still raise his arm up if you want. Put your hand here, raise your arm straight up. No, just put your hand here. Raise the arm straight up in the air. Just get it straight. See what you're doing in my head? So as I grab him here and I pull him in, he comes over the top, drives down, he gets me off balance. This hand comes right up, grabs the back of my head, this one goes here, and now you've got a nice head throw. Basic and simple, and you're using, remember, gross motor skills. Okay? So, here we have force multiplier. So now everyone get their cute little bit and a scarf. You know everybody in Texas wears one, right? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I got out a handkerchief because women have scarves, they have purses with handles, whatever. But it's just to show you some force multipliers that you can use. Now, this is a nice simple piece of cloth, t-shirt, rope, whatever. If he's a threat to me, I can go pop it in his eyes. Right? I don't want to hit him because I don't have depth and I don't know how far away you are. But pop it in the eyeball. Leave. Right? He says, I want your wallet. You go, sure. Well, he got my 99-cent handkerchief. Okay? But where does his eyes go? They go to this, right? If you go, here, hold this. Ooh, that's right through it. Hang on, I got it back here somewhere. Here, hold this. Ah, okay? So it makes a really nice distraction. Here's where the force multiplier works, okay? Let's say I just taught you guys how to bring your arms up and do all this stuff, right? And everybody loves to hold, right? karate block thing that we all do, right? Now you just connect the two together. Simply hold it, and your thumb is here, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to hold it, and you see how you pop it? Like this, okay? We've all done that with belts with our kids. Here, son, let me show you something. That's going to get you in a minute. Put your finger in there, right? So it's basically the same thing, right? So he's standing here, and he throws his punch. Feel it? And just by popping it, you see his hand actually leave. I want you to actually come in, and if you hit me, I'm just going to fall. It'll be fine. Go ahead. Okay. Now I'm not going entangled in. I'm not going anywhere from there. But just simply by doing this little pop, I can block it. Okay. It's increasing the amount of impact and force, but it's not going to leave any bruises on him. He's not going to be able to tell the cops, you know, this guy blew out an handkerchief and beat me up. They're going to say, show me the marks. Oh no, they were going to go. Okay? Alright, so the other thing is that, let's say he goes and he starts trying to choke me. Y'all will love this one, right? Yeah, he can either choke or grab or whatever, but he decides he's going to attack me, right? And I have my trusty little hanky, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over, put it on his elbows, and draw both elbows down. You ain't holding on no more, is you? Who's in control? Him